The end of these Alpine Skiing World Championships, and what a slalom run it promises to be. Marcel Hirscher sits atop of the pack, 2 Austrians behind him, and then our very own Dave Riding in 4th place after a great first run. Alongside me, Tina Marza. And Tina, we talked about the pressure on Dave Riding. He'd been good on the World Cup circuit. Could he step up in the World Championships? He did.
I think he did a great job. We were counting on him, and he's so calm, you know, and doing his work. It's nice to see him ski like that, and I think in second run he knows he has to charge. He's in good position, not there in the leading board, and you have to really attack. The differences are very small, and I think that will be interesting to watch.
Had a very strong first half, didn't he, Dave? Maybe lost a little bit at the end.
Yeah, he was attacking really well on the top, and then of course this steep part a little control, but then down here I think he could push even more. We were seeing Marcel maybe beating him almost for half a second down here.
The Austrians were strong, 1, 2, 3 after that first run, but Marcel Hirscher sitting almost half a second ahead, and he comes into this, I think, with great confidence after winning the GS.
Yeah, he's so calm. He did his work in GS. Of course, slalom is his discipline, wins a lot in this discipline, and of course to bring this performance on this hill with icy slope, I think he was very happy about it, that he brought this skiing on the race.
And as you said, the Austrians as well, incredibly strong. You said it beforehand, don't just look at Marcel, they're all good.
Yeah, they are a strong team. They are getting more and more in top 7 position, and these guys that are today on podium were skiing also very good before. Arso Feller, he did a mistake and he could be right there as well, so they have a huge big team, not just Marcel.
Okay, well, let's hear from Dave Riding now. He spoke to me after that first run. Dave, sitting in 4th position, your reaction to that first run?
Yeah, I had a really good run right until this last roll. I went a little. I was trying to risk. I went a little straight and lost my outside ski a bit. So I guess I wasn't so good down there. But all in all, it was a good start, good position for the next run. So yeah.
The Austrians looking very strong.
Yeah, as always. So yeah, it's up to us to step up though. So we'll see what. It's back to square one. The next one's so tight, it'll get a little more bumpy. So yeah, we'll see.
Great job so far. Good luck for the second run.
Thanks a lot. See ya.
Dave, pretty relaxed there, pretty comfortable, and I guess he will take confidence from that first run and be ready to charge in this second.
Yeah, like he's saying, the snow will change. Probably the temperatures are playing with the snow again, so we will see a little rougher second run, but I don't think that's a problem for those guys. They know how to ski also in a little not so perfect conditions as they were this morning, so it can change though many things.
Well, let's take a comparison now between Dave and Marcel in that first run with Dartfish. There was a half a second difference, and Marcel particularly made the difference towards the end. But just talk through here what you see, Tina.
Yeah, I see very fast changes from Marcel from turn to turn. His skis are always parallel, just simple, and really pushing himself out from turn to turn. And right here, right down in this bottom section, you see Riding here catching him, and then after this he just puts in the next step and goes away from Riding, really attacking the bottom part, and that's where he did the biggest difference between all these racers.
And is that a mixture of technique, or is it as much power and conditioning?
I think it's about tactics and how much power and energy you have for the bottom part. As we've seen, this is very sprint slalom, so you have to be really aggressive all the time, and not everyone can bring this aggressivity until the finish.
Let's talk about the Austrians just very quickly. Schwarz, Matt and Manuel Feller. Perhaps a bit of a surprise. I mean, you said to watch out for them. How strong can they be in the second run?
Yeah, I think the pressure is big on them. They are now in good position, and they are, as they don't have that much experience as Marcel does, they have a lot of work to do to stay calm, to, you know, just to ski the way they skied in the first run, and that's not easy in slalom. But still, they are not in the lead, so you don't have to, but medal, it's medal. So they are probably now calculating how to approach the next turn.
Absolutely. Well, one man with a lot of pressure on in this second run is Henrik Kristoffersen. He's been in great form on the World Cup circuit. He's down, what, in sixth place here. 6th place, I think, 0.65 behind Marcel Hirscher. This is what he had to say to me after his first run. Henrik, thank you for stopping. Just a quick reaction to that first run.
I think from the first to second split it was pretty okay, and then the bottom was okay, but yeah, just missing a little bit. I think the course was pretty fast and stuff, so well, yeah, just maybe I have to change the skis a little bit.
Big deficit on Marcel.
Not too big.
Not too big. Would you agree, Tina?
I would agree. It's not that big. He knows that if he brings another good run, which this first run was not the way he wanted to, he's not that far away, and he has better number than Marcel, and not pressure, and maybe that's a bit better position to be to attack.
Okay, well, let's head up to the commentary box now, Nick and Finn, with their views on whether or not Dave Riding can get his way onto the podium.
First job, first kiss, first car, first home. That's a big one. Start with an experienced agent who knows what that first home means and what matters when you're buying it. RE/MAX. Go with those who know.
Their views on whether or not Dave Riding can get his way onto the podium.
Well, thanks, Jonathan. And up here in the commentary box, Finley and I have been having a little bit of a ski racing history lesson. And look what we have discovered. A lady by the name of Evelyn Pinching, who won 3 medals at the 1936 World Championships, gold in downhill, gold in combined, and the silver in the slalom. 81 years later, Riding's in 4th position. Are we going to take another medal?
He's got all the skill set to make that happen. He needs to have an error-free run, and it's within his grasp.
Well, it was Norwich that dominated 81 years ago. It could be Lancashire here in St. Moritz in 2017. Let's keep our fingers crossed for the Rocket.
Yeah, they've got their fingers crossed. So have I, and Tina is an honorary Brit for the day. She's got her fingers crossed too. I mean, it's an amazing story. I mean, you come from a small nation with not an amazing tradition. Britain is even worse in terms of tradition. It would be a great achievement, wouldn't it, to get on the podium?
It's a huge story. It's huge history. Dave is ready to do this, and he knows that he has this chance. So it's never easy to come from country where you don't have conditions to train and maybe tradition for skiing, for that sport. So I was growing up with snow behind my house, so that's easier. You know, it's more natural and more spontaneous than doing those trainings in places where you have to travel and it's not right there in front of your house.
Yeah, not many mountains, not much snow in Lancashire, it's true to be said. We look back to yesterday, Michaela Schifrin, an incredible performance in the women's slalom. Might we see something similar from Marcel Hirscher today on this second run?
I don't think he has that big difference between the second slalom racer as Michaela does in women's part. So I don't think Marcel is... The other guys are following him better than the ladies, Michaela.
Thanks for the moment, Tina. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, it will be that second run. The good news is the Swiss will probably be cheering for the Brits as well, because they don't want to see 3 Austrians on the podium. Trust me. We'll see you after the break.
Welcome back to St. Moritz. We're counting down to the start of the second run of the men's slalom and the 11th and final medal decisions at these World Alpine Ski Racing Championships. The best of Britain is in the commentary box, Alan Baxter, Finley Mickle. But first, let's hear from the man of the moment, Marcel Hirscher. Everybody wants to know what Hirscher thinks of this second run course, and he makes it quite clear that it's unrhythmical. But, and he says that the skier that he fears the most is young Michael Matt. But Hirscher, look how cool and calm the body language is. He says he's just going to go flat out from top to bottom, and he's going to try and use the advantage that he has gained from the first run. This is the top 30 going in reverse order, working our way down to the fastest men from that first leg. And it's literally the last page of the 3 that we will see the skiers in the hunt for the medals. Spain will get the action underway. Lizarou will look for a second run charge. Maybe Daniel Yule has a chance for Switzerland, 9/10 off the pace. But then you see the skiers in the top flight and working our way through. Neureuter, Germany haven't won this since 1987. Manu Feller, one of 4 Austrians, but the 4th man to go is Dave Riding from Great Britain. Now, Alan, you've been in this position before at the Olympic Games in 2002 when you took that Olympic bronze. What's going through Dave's mind right now?
Well, after the excitement, the adrenaline of that first run, he's going to go, or I had to go and sort of calm down, find a quiet spot, then get ready for the inspection. You know, you get fully focused during the inspection. make sure you know the course, then calm down again, and then it's the wind-up stage.
And now,
get ready to just let rip.
And I've got to put you on the spot here, Alan. You and I have worked together for many years, skied together when we were youngsters. Can he take the bronze? Can he do the business like you did in 2002?
He's put himself to have every opportunity to get a medal, no question about it. It's tight in front, it's tight behind. You know, Kristoffersen's just behind him. He's aware of that, so he's going to have to just let it go.
Well, we're going to let Alan Baxter go. Words of wisdom from Alan. He's here with his young son, Kerr. They're going into the crowd to watch the best of the action. Great to see you, Mr. Baxter, and let's wish riding the best of luck.
Exactly. Thank you.
Well, great to have Alan Baxter in the commentary box there, Finley. And what many of the viewers won't be aware of is that Alan has been a real guiding force for Dave Riding. We remember that they spent time together before they did the business in Kitzbühel, and I guess we can tell the world right now that Dave uses Alan on so many occasions when he just needs a few words of wisdom.
Absolutely, they are constantly in contact with each other, and he's Dave's inspiration, not only mine as well, you know, the hero of back in the day for all of us British ski racers.
We're out on course with the second run of the men's slalom, the last medal decision of the 2017 Alpine Ski Racing World Championships. And Joachim Salaric for Spain gets the action underway. So good to see Joachim qualify. It brings back memories of the late, great Francisco Paquito Fernandez Ochoa, Spain's only Winter Olympic gold medalist. He took the gold in Sapporo in 1972. He won the bronze in the slalom here in 1974. Sadly, a couple of years ago, Paco, he lost his battle to cancer, but Joachim brings many, many good memories for Spanish skiing back here today by qualifying for this second run.
Yeah, absolutely. And we get the first chance to look at this course, and it's not got much rhythm to it. You've got to change your approach the whole way down.
It's still a sprint by World Cup slalom standards at 1:38.50. Well done to Joachim Salaric, putting Spain back on the world map. And also another one of the lowland nations, as they're often referred to in the world of ski competition, has qualified into the top 30. This is a great ski from Stefan Winkelhorst of the Netherlands, coached by a great friend of ours, Harold de Man. He qualified for the race, he won the quali, and oh, Harold.
This is where it's so difficult. This second run, it changes completely. We saw the first run, really high speed in the top flats, but you're unable to hold that speed. I don't even know if Marcel Hirscher can hold that speed onto these tighter turns. There's less distance and just as much across the hill over the Rominger Sprunge, the first main pitch.
He's had a good show of gyps as well. He won the qualification GS Finley, Stefan, so he shows that he's got some skills. But like in the giant slalom, the Dutch racer blew it on the second leg there. I think these lads from Holland just need to learn to deal with the enormity of the event. 40,000 spectators, TV cameras from all around the world, but still good to see Winkelhorst on the result sheet by the end of play today.
Yeah, absolutely. And what Holland does have is got some great indoor ski halls, Landgraf being one of them. And it's where a lot of our British athletes and a lot of other athletes go and train there in summer, but it's nothing like as steep as it is off Rominger Jump in the indoor halls.
No, maybe he'll end in Edinburgh as steep as that. I don't think so either. Let's take a look at Marco Fiffner for Liechtenstein, finishing in 28th position. Now, Finley, it's plus 2 degrees Celsius and the temperature is still rising out there. I'm watching the condition of the snow and the piste because they haven't done any salting on the course between the first and the second run. The race organisers and the International Ski Federation feel that the track should hold for the top 30 and the fastest men going at the back of that 30.
Yeah, absolutely. And interesting to note, they didn't let any of the guys inspect the first 3 gates. They're the gates that are mainly in the sun, but as you can see the shine on the snow surface. There's a lot of water in the snow, and it's going to hold up well all the way to the last guys.
Well, good to see Joachim Salaric for Spain still holding top position here. So pleased for the Spanish Federation. as Fifner from Liechtenstein is off the pace by 0.37 of a second. Salaric from Team Spain. There's Joachim. Absolutely delighted to have seen off a couple of challenges at least. There's Neureuter for Germany. He needs a huge second-run charge. The Germans have not won the gold since Frank Wendel in 1987. Finley, we're hoping Frank Wendel will be joining us in the commentary box in just a short while. He's a bit of a busy bee with Eurosport Germany right now. Giuliano Razzoli, another massive champion from yesteryear, the 2010 Olympic slalom champ. This man should take the lead and should take it comfortably, Finley.
Yeah, Razzoli, the first big name we see here in the second run, and Razzoli had a few technical problems on that first run, and he struggled on the pitch, but no such struggles on this run. He's getting the skis to stay on the ground. The first run, his skis were just in the air the whole time. He seems to got the measure of the second run.
Lovely work from the Italian.
Yeah, he really is able to change his flow and his pace with these little tight turns in the middle and then some more opens. You know, a lot of continual movement to the finish.
As expected, almost 1.25 seconds the advantage for Giuliano Razzoli. One of the top 15 World Cup ski racers of the season. And of course, an Olympic gold back at home in Italy. But it all went wrong for Giuliano on the first run. Just showing us what he's got on the second, but more of a showcase than anything else. Well, here's another skier that is a newly crowned world champion here in St. Moritz last week. Luca Eni from Crans-Montana, 23-year-old Swiss racer who was crowned the best all-rounder after one leg of downhill, one leg of slalom, and a world championship gold going Luca's way with a second-run charge, Finley, from 30 to first position. Eni needs another one of those charges right now if he can just get into the top 15, never mind the top 10.
Yeah, Luca's so fast on the flats, and he's managed to change the gear onto the steep and stay ahead of the line. So difficult to do when there's only 9 meters vertically down from one gate to the next. But we're seeing him struggling in this change of tempo in the course.
Yeah, very short deflection. He really does deflect his momentum and that edge on the turn. But when he gets a little bit rutted and bumpy, he tends to get thrown off the line. Look at Eni into the lead, 0.27. Again, another racer that will be wishing he'd done more on the first leg. Or has Luca Eni done another classic second-run charge?
So dynamic, that finishing the turn off so quickly as we see in the super slow-mo on the first 4 turns of the main steep. It's a real key area in this second run.
Switzerland take the lead. Italy now second with the Spanish racer Joachim Salaric down into third spot. Very much early days in this second leg of the men's World Championship slalom here in St. Moritz. But the slower skiers from the first leg do get the advantage of the smoother track and race piste. And this could easily be a new leader if Linus Strasser can demonstrate the skill and confidence that brought him a win in the last World Cup on the men's tour. It was a parallel slalom in Stockholm and Sweden. And Strasser again, much cleaner and slicker and quicker on the steep and now into the inviting lower third of the challenge.
Yeah, in these parallel slaloms, it's the technique that you need to be able to pull a big hip angle out of the turn quickly. And it's the same in this second course here in St. Moritz. Because the turns are so far across the hill and coming at you so quickly, the same skill is relevant.
Linus Strasser holds his form to the line here. Through the royal flush again. And at it he goes. Linus Strasser. Oh, it has not been a good championships for the Germans. Still looking for a medal. And I guess, Finley, their only chance is Felix Neureuter. But Neureuter is down in 10th position and over 3/4 behind the pace, 3/4 of a second, that is, behind the pace of Marcel Hirscher.
Yeah, but he's not that far off the podium, though, so it's still possible. I see any of the last 10 guys going down having a shot at a medal today.
Luca Erni's getting used to playing the waiting game. Let's see if the defending champion, and he will be the defending champion at least for another 40 minutes, is that JB Grange. Grange took gold 2 years ago in Beaver Creek, Colorado. His second World Championship slalom gold. He was hoping, Finley, to grab a third here today and join the great Ingemar Stenmark as the only slalom skier to do so from the men's side of the calculation. But Grange struggled on the first run and once again not quite got the power in the turn as the leading skiers.
Yeah, just seems to hold on to his turn for a little bit longer. We've seen the top guy so quickly off the edge to allow the speed to flow down the course.
.42 off the pace of the Swiss leader. It's very smooth and clean. Grange has textbook technique that allows him to make such quick recoveries, but just not quite as powerful as we'd expect. And 1:37.80, fourth position for Grange. No repeat performance of 2015 or 2011 when the Frenchman took slalom gold. Dominic Stelle for Germany. Dominic is turned 30 years of age now. He's had more than his fair share of injuries and comebacks throughout his career. But he also knows that he's coming to the end of that career. A big result here today could confirm him to the German Olympic squad for next season. His form on the World Cup Tour has not been that good or consistent, never better than 50. So Stelle has big reason to really push this to the wire in this second leg of the men's slalom.
Yeah, we can tell that form not being the best this year, consistent with that bib number 38 that he finds himself with. He had a good first run, but this run seems to be losing the power through the middle. But just as I say that, we see green.
Well, yeah, he's trying to keep it clean, he's smooth, he's trying to go for the error-free. He's trying to ski like Marcel Hirscher, high and in from behind the turning gate. Oh, the German just misses it. 0.23. Off the pace for Dominic Stelle. Germany are in second and third position, but it's still Luca Erni from Cramonton, Switzerland, in top position. Here is Stefan Hardelin from Slovenia. We must not forget that Slovenia, one of the smaller nations at these World Alpine Ski Race Championships, took the downhill gold in the women's competition with Ilka Sturhetz. But this is nice in the top section, Finley. Still keeps the green light, loses a little of the advantage from the starter, 0.39 to 0.21, but keeps that light green.
Yeah, that's the main thing. In the top flats, you just have to be so dynamic, and he's changing his approach really nicely down here, not getting trapped or caught out by the change of tempo. Seems to be on top of every turn so far.
Yeah, this 21-year-old Slovenian was 28th in the GS. He's had top 15 form on the tour, and the midsection is working very nicely. Stefan Hardelin with a charge for Slovenia here. Just needs to hold this to the line, keep the rhythm. Now power for home, and Slovenia into top position. And what's impressive is the time difference between gold and silver medal position, 0.83 of a second. That reminded me a little of Yuri Kozhia, Slovenia's last World Championship slalom medalist and their last top flight slalom racer.
Yeah, fantastic through the middle section on that run. Here we see him just at the end of the flats, preparing to get onto the main steep.
Well, Hardelin waits patiently. 0.18 of a second is for the advantage for the next skier in the gates, finishing in 21st position. This is Rito Schmidinger, an opportunity for the Swiss team to very quickly take the lead back. 0.18 of a second now. See how he goes on this 18-second explosive top seconds. He loses just 500ths. Now onto the steep backside of what was the Rominger Sprung in the downhill last week. Keeps the rhythm and keeps that flow down the mountain as the legs deflect the momentum from left to right.
Yeah, it really couldn't be more of a change from that dance on the top section to how much you have to come from behind on the main pitch in this second run.
And Schmidinger now 3/10 plus off the pace and just a little heavy on the edge on the rhythm change coming into the closing turns. Schmidinger dips for the line. Runner-up position, 1:36.38 total time for the Swiss racer. The USA in the gate with Dave Chudensky. Chudensky absolutely thrilled with his 11th position in the giant slalom. Let's see if he can pull it off in the slalom, because this is the discipline where he has the best results against his name from the World Cup Tour.
Yeah, going well so far. Really nice balance and flow from flat to steep, and he's got the measure really going direct at the gates and quick from one edge to the other, managing to just sneak his feet round the right side of each gate.
Looking a little passive in the midsection for my like. Just a split second off with his timing, but Chudensky's renowned for really pushing it and pushing it all the way in the closing turns. The American, true to form, tries it again, and Chudensky into second position. Just the mid part of the challenge there. A little indecisive, but another good result for America's top tech racer this season. Now, Leif Christian Horgen is out on course for Norway. A bronze medal in the GS. And a very valuable course report going up to Henrik Kristoffersen after Leif Christian has finished his second run challenge. I think he's a little far off the pace from the first leg, made a couple of big errors and put in a couple of great recoveries to go with them. But he's just looking for a top 20, possibly top 15 result here right now, Finley.
Yeah, such a strong, powerful athlete, just smashes all of these gates out the way, but he doesn't seem to be putting as much power and energy down through his skis to give him the forward momentum.
Oh, the arm comes behind the upper body on the rhythm change, just takes a little bit of the pressure off the turning ski. Horgen into third position, 0.19, and off the second of Stefan Hardlin from Slovenia. Well, there is young Michael Matt, the younger brother to the Olympic slalom champion Mario Matt. Robin Buffet for French team is out on course. I like the way this young French skier Finley sits right in the middle of the ski. He's got a very quick, light touch, and that little flick of the feet from turn to turn is a joy to watch.
Yeah, really works well on the flats, but then struggling to engage the tip of the ski as it comes down onto the steeper section. But back to his favourite flats now and going well with these turns. Just lost that time on the four main breakover turns on the pitch.
Well, that 0.22 of a second is well within his reach, but it's not the most rhythmical of course sets from Stefano Costaza, and that is catching quite a few out. Seems to be the same for the French. It seems to start with a rhythm and then change, start with a rhythm and then another, and it's difficult to find the flow and fluidity to this racetrack, and I think that's where Robin has suffered. Into fifth position.
Yeah, you have to have such a good memory to know every single turn. Normally think of slalom inspection in sections, but there aren't really any sections because it's continually changing.
Well, Manfred Molk, who started this morning with bib number 1, finds himself in 17th position after the first run. He's got a healthy advantage of almost 0.3 of a second. He's got some pretty impressive form against his name from yesteryear. A World Championship silver medalist in 2007, and again on the podium in 2011 with bronze in Garmisch, Germany.
Yeah, Manny Molk just He struggled a little on the top section in the first run, and he's lost time again on that section. And getting behind the line, this is what happens when you go a little bit direct to the gates and you don't change for each and every different gate we have here in the second run.
Yes, he's trying everything that he knows, everything within the skill set to try and get ahead. And of course, when you're pushing it right to the limit, it goes wrong within a split second. And Mulgey's just a little off with the timing and the race line on these lower turns. Experience keeps him in the top flight, but third position for Mulg, 0.14 off the pace of the leading Slovenian. Off the pace of the leading Slovenian.
It really shows us how little room there is, and there's just no room for any mistakes.
Joint 15th position for Andrei Mura. Mura, who won the dress rehearsal for these World Championships, part of the World Cup finals last March. Nice and aggressive on the top section, but he blew it on the steep pitch on the first run. He needs to tidy it up on the second as well.
Again, just getting thrown into the air so fast on the flats, uses so much of the upper body, and then just losing that advantage to 0.13 in the green now.
Olympic bronze medalist Andrei Mura. Again, there's another rhythm change here as he comes across the Civetta racetrack, and it's catching so many out. Strong on the right foot through the undergates into the verticale, now heads home, and Andrei Mura, strength and power, puts the Swede into top position, kept his nerve, held his cool. And that is a classic example of how the powerhouse from Sweden steals and wins World Cup races. Mura leads, Harlin for Slovenia second, Chudensky for the USA now third. Taking us to the halfway point of the competition is the Norwegian racer Jonathan Nordbotten, tying with Mura for 15th position. And Nordbotten is having a good World Cup season. He's been in the top 10 4 times from 9 races. But his advantage has gone so quickly. 0.18 off the pace here, and struggling on the steep, getting twisted with the upper body and not quite holding the right posture as he comes off the pitch, now onto the flatter lower section.
Yeah, it just shows how fast Mura was across those flats. Nordbotten, he's such a narrow stance, those feet so close together, there's no real space for any moves to the inside.
Well, gets back that high racing line, but it's all a little too late. Nordbotten 4/10 off the pace into 4th position. Mura still leads and sets the target time over the 2 legs at 1 minute 35.85. There are still 15 races left to challenge to decide the medals in the second leg of this men's slalom here in St. Moritz. Welcome back to St. Moritz. We're down to the business end of the second run of this men's slalom, the final event at the 2017 Alpine Ski Racing World Championships. And the Olympic bronze medalist from 2014, Andrei Mura, is at the top of the table with a very strong second run charge and sets the target for the remaining 15 races at 1 minute 35.85. The camera catches Dave riding in his pre-race warm-up, lying in 4th position after the first run. We haven't won a World Championship medal since 1936. 81 years ago. In the modern era of alpine racing, the best British result was by the gentleman sitting next to me. From the men's perspective, that was Finlay Mickle in the downhill in Bormio back in 2005. 11th for Finlay there. And of course, Leslie Beck for the women, 10th position in Crans-Montana in 1987. But Finlay, Dave is in a really good position now. Would it help riding to watch the racers that go before him?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's just cooling off right now, keeping the boots cool. But when he starts to get to the faster guys, he'll be watching that screen, seeing where they're making the speeds, seeing if they're making any mistakes. And there's a lot to learn because there's no real rhythm in this second course set.
Stefano Gross is out on course, finishing 14th after the first run, but that advantage by finishing 14th has already gone. He's now 2/10 off the pace. This Italian racer on the podium in his home World Cup competition in Madonna di Campiglio, but it has been a poor World Championships by the Italian ski team standards, with still only one bronze medal for Team Italy.
Yeah, Stefano just struggling on the main steep Rominger jump, but starting to get his balance and his move back together in the lower turns.
Again, we see a slalom racer with that very narrow stance over the skis, but has it worked? Not enough for Stefano Gross, 3/10 off the pace of the Swedish leader, Andre Mura. Lizaroux next to go for France. The last chance for France to claim a medal at these championships. The advantage, 0.16. Now, the veteran from La Plaine, at 37 years of age, took the silver medal to Manfred Pranger in this race back in 2009. He's been plagued with shoulder and back injury for many seasons, but Lizaroux on the World Cup Tour is almost back to his best of 8 years ago.
Yeah, he skis with such joy. You can tell he's having a good time, and you need to have a good time in your sport to last the years of up to 37 years old and still competing at the highest level.
0.51. Again, it's an unorthodox set from Stefano Costaza. Lizaroux goes for the line. Oh, there's a mistake and he blows it. Oh, Julian. 3 from home. I'm not sure whether that was a lapse in concentration, a catch of the edge. Finlay, what went wrong
here?
Here
We see in slow-mo, this is just through the flush. That the tip got hit by the ski there, and he's just feet too close together. And again, the ball comes down, and when your feet are that close together, you can't put your ski onto another, or your pressure onto another ski. Just too narrow a stance in the finishing turns.
Oh, what a shame for the man from La Plaine. Such a popular skier with the fans all over the World Cup Tour. The French team will now turn to Mouffa-Gendé, their final skier in this second leg. Tess Worley won the gold for the French team in the giant slalom. They dominated the team competition. Now, Mouffa-Gendé, 20th in the Alpine combined. For him was a disappointment, Finlay. 13th in the giant slalom. He said it himself, nowhere near his best. Here's a final chance for Mouffa-Gendé to show the world his true skiing skills. Settles into the charge quite nicely on the inviting open top section. 0.18 to 0.13.
Yeah, and change his approach now. It's all about getting the skis to turn across the hill. And now, these are the tighter gates. This is where it really ramps up and you have to stay ahead of it. He's just managing to hold on to the line at this moment.
He's quite a small, light skier, relies on his touch on the turning ski rather than the brute force that keeps Andre Mura in top position. The Frenchman loses the green light. He now finds himself with work to do, speed to find. Mouffa-Gendé, a good, strong finish from the Frenchman, but he's lost it. 1:36.44, dropping like a stone to 9th position. Switzerland are out on course with Daniel Yule, one of 2 Swiss skiers left in the hunt here. Yule, 11th quickest from the first run. He's lost about half his advantage and he's in trouble. And Daniel Yule is down and out. Trapped on the inside ski on the backside of the Rominger jump. And now the Swiss team turn to Zennerhausen as their last chance of a medal in this second leg.
Right on the very ragged edge and just body too far inside the ski. I think we're going to start seeing this from the top 10. These guys need to take extra risks to try and head for the podium is where they want their second run to be going.
Can Felix Neureuter of Germany bring the Deutsche Skibund, the German Ski Federation, their first slalom gold in 28 years? Frank Wendel, the winner of this race back in 1987. A German racer has never done it since. Neureuter knows that he needs a huge second run here if he's to take the lead from Müller and put the pressure on the 9 skiers to follow him.
Looking good for Neureuter. He struggled a little bit on the steeper turns and then got the speed going again. He's really being electrically fast from one edge to the other.
Oh, this is good for Neureuter. This is exactly what so many of the crowd have come to see. The German .1, flying, needs to hold the form through these lower turns and now drive for the line. 1:35.85 the target, 1:35.68 the final time for Felix Neureuter. The million-dollar question, is that good enough to give Germany a medal?
Oh, that's going to be so close. Felix lost a bit of time just into the finish area compared with Müller, so expecting other guys to really challenge on to the end. But he was really strong in this steep, much better than we've seen him ski in the first run.
Now, is that 28-year wait over for Germany? Something smashed from an equipment perspective there. I'm not sure whether that's the binding or one of the dampeners on the ski.
Yeah, that's the
Something
toe
went wrong
piece.
with the kit.
Toe piece of the binding. It's where it tells you the DIN set, which is a measurement that we have to keep the boots in the binding. All of the things are happening today for a technical perspective because they're smashing the gates so hard.
Neureuter leads. There are 9 races left to challenge. The target time now stands at 1:35.68. Last chance for Switzerland. This is Ramon Zennerhausen, 9th quickest from the first leg. Zennerhausen, by far the tallest man on the World Cup Tour. Toyed with being a basketball player as a lad, but now the Swiss fans are happy that Zennerhausen chose alpine skiing because we could see, oh, he's in trouble. Zennerhausen, good recoveries, but loses so much of the speed, rhythm, and flow to his performance.
That looked like a straddle. Yeah, it was. That's why he's stopping. Hard to see. This is it. The guys are taking way more risks now to head to the podium.
But to be fair, Finley, that's the game. They're not here for points. 7th, 6th position. They don't care. It's 1, 2, or 3. Make it or break it.
Absolutely. So fast in the top section for Zennerhausen, and then with the big, long limbs, very difficult to move in the shorter, tighter gates that we see in the middle section on this second run.
Felix Neureuter still leads for Germany with 8 races left to ski, including Britain's Dave Riding, live after the break. Welcome back to St. Moritz. 40,000 spectators crammed into the grandstand and lining both sides of the Servetta racetrack here. There are 8 races left in the chase for the last medal of the Alpine Ski Racing Championships for 2017. Neureuter leads for Germany. Germany haven't won this title for 28 years. Frankie Wendel took it in 1987, and can Neureuter, well, do the unbelievable, give us an amazing second run charge and steal that gold from the Austrians, who are still to ski, the Norwegians, the Swedes, and believe it or not, Great Britain as well, Finley. Riding is waiting patiently at the top of the track to make his play. He's been calm, he's been cool all season long. There's no reason why he can't stuff the Austrians and the Swiss in their own backyard.
Absolutely. Speaking with Ali Morton, his service guy, he's got the skis prepped to perfection, and Tristan knows exactly what he's got to do. Tristan Glasdave is his coach, that is, and the tighter, more technical turns suit Dave.
Now here's his training partner next in the gate. Believe it or not, Team GB worked very closely with the Russian team. Alexander Horoshilov will not only give us an indication how this small team will ski on this track, he'll probably give Dave a course report as well.
Absolutely.
Horoshilov out on course for Russia. The man who likes the ice, there's no question, due to the warm weather conditions and the heat of the snow, the track is softening just a little, and that means the skiers will need to bring just a touch of finesse, particularly on this Rominger steep pitch.
Yeah, the finesse is needed, and the change of tempo through these tighter turns are down to 8.5 meters through here. You've got to move so quickly to stay ahead and stay high early in the line.
We have to go back to 1991 for Russia's last World Championship medal, as the Soviet Union then, of course, when Svetlana Gladisheva, a former president of the Russian Ski Federation, took the bronze in the downhill. But Horoshilov has got work to do here on the closing turns, and I'm not sure this softer snow towards the end suits the Russian. Horoshilov goes second. A brave ski from Alex. Not bad at all, but I'm not sure whether that is good enough for a medal. To be brutally honest, still 7 skiers to go.
Yeah, a couple of heavy edge sets, especially to the bottom, cost them a little bit in speed towards this flat finish area.
Seven skiers left to go. 3 of the 7 are from the Austrian ski team. Neureuter on screen leads for Germany. They haven't won since 1987. Christoffersen is the last chance to bring Norway a gold at these World Championships. It's Manu Feller in the gate, the first of the trio of Austrians left to ski. 7th position from the first run, just 900ths of a second, his advantage over the German leader.
Yeah, Manny skied like an absolute rocket in the first run, but had some big mistakes to the bottom of the challenge. He's doing it just like Rocket again on the top section, but he's a big risk taker, and he's going to need to take some risks to get through these tighter turns.
Yeah, he only seems to have one tactic up his sleeve, fella. It's all or bust, and so far the all side of the equation is starting to work out. There's a big mistake on the rhythm change. Heavy on the edge, tail skid sideways, and he's down to 1/100th of a second. Feller will need to fly on the lower turns. Heading out of the verticale, now diving for home. Austria take the lead from Germany. Manu Feller opens up a 1/4 of a second lead against Neureuter. Horoshilov is now down into 3rd position. Early leader Muda is off the podium. And the Austrians are a real force to be reckoned with here today.
Absolutely, Manny Feller knows how to take the risk, and what speed he made through the final turns, the quickness of movement that he had to generate that speed onto the lower flats.
Well, Manu Feller knows that's good. He knows that's strong. There's riding with bib number 5 for the Delancey British ski team. But before riding, the skier placed 6th off the first leg. It's Henrik Christoffersen, the racer with more World Cup wins this season than any other in the competition. New skis, a slightly different setup of the equipment for the second leg for the youngster we call the Prince of the Vikings. 0.21, again Finley, just like the first run, struggling on those flatter upper turns.
And struggling on the steep as well. This isn't going the way Christoffersen had wanted. We knew he wasn't going to be the fastest on the steep, but in the last run, he was one of the quickest down the main pitch.
Well, he'll need to fly, not just be one of the quickest, and this could be the medal hope from Norway, slipping through their fingers. Christoffersen, the turn is clean, but he doesn't seem as sharp or as fast. Lovely through the rhythm change. He now needs to find just 0.2 of a second. Austria lead, Norway on course. Christoffersen dips for the line, and he's gone 3rd. I fear that will be no medal for Henrik Kristoffersen, and that is a big surprise in this last race of the championships.
Here we are, third turn on the pitch, getting thrown up into the air and a long way off that turning gate. These gates are so close together, you have to be pinpoint accurate with almost boot-topping ability down through those turns. When the gate's so close, it hits the top of the boot.
5 skiers left to go. Sweden, Great Britain, and then 3 Austrians back to back. Hirscher still watching the screens at the top of the track to try and get a little more information as he prepares for his challenge, the last man of the race. But now it's Sweden in the gate with Matthias Hagen.
Come on, Matthias, now,
Tenth of a second the advantage that he carries forward from the first run over the current leader, Manu Feller from Fieberbrunn in Austria. Now Hagen, one of the most aggressive skiers on the World Cup Tour. Look at him box his way through these gates, literally smashing the gate away from turn to turn, and he holds the advantage from the start gate to the first breakaway. A tenth of a second, the right side of the clock.
The question for Hagen is, can he control through the tighter turns? He is so risky in line. Those tips are so close to every which one of these turning gates.
Oh, he's a little off balance, just pitched a little onto the front. 1 or 2 heavy edges, but he's 0.35. Hagen's direct and aggressive line. Oh, there he is again. Hagen is out. Sweden's chances of a medal have gone. He was 0.35 up, and now Hagen is down and out of the race.
Oh, that is the cost of a high-risk approach. Just on the heels, we see his hips quite far back, the tips not picking up on the outside turn, and when it starts coming and there's no room for recovery, the only way it's going to end up is not being able to make the following gates.
Disappointment for the Swedish coaches. Here in the commentary box, we switch our focus to the next man in the gate. It is Dave Riding of the Delancey British ski team. Can we make history here? Can Riding pull this off? This is the biggest ask of his career. Look at Kristoffersen, absolutely furious in defeat. It's not about Norway, it's not about Sweden, it is Great Britain versus Austria. Feller leads, then we'll see Riding, and then immediately after, for Austria, Michael Matt. For Austria, Marco Schwarz, and the world number 1, Hirscher, wrapping it up. He needs to stay calm here, Dave. He needs to step up a level from a World Cup player to a World Championship winner. Riding out on course. He loves these flat opening sections. He settles the nerves, finds the race line. He must charge. The light has gone from green to red. Riding must push harder on the steep. Really drive in the turn. He settled it down once again after a slightly nervous opening section.
Yeah, good early pressure on the turning ski now for the Rocket. Is he able to keep the speed through the middle section? He is really going for these gates here, but a heavy edge set or 2.
Same mistake on the same part of the course where he slipped up. He only needs his 200. Now Dave needs to change up a gear and drive for the line. Can Riding get into the medal positions? He sees the finish. The line comes at him. Dave Riding, he's missed the medals. Oh! 8th position, Dave Riding, no glory for the British number 1. A beautiful ski, kept his calm, kept his cool, but just held on to the edge for a split second too long in that mid part of the challenge, Finley.
Yeah, just looked a little bit heavy. He wasn't quick off the edge, and when you start getting heavier, it's harder to get that quickness back.
Oh, the look of pain for Dave Riding. 8th position after such an electrifying opening run. Slalom racing can be so cruel. 3 to go. Let's sort out the medals. Austria lead with Manu Feller. There could be a clean sweep on the cards here for Team Austria. Michael Matt out on course, the younger brother to the Olympic slalom champion and 2 times world slalom champion Mario Matt. His older brother's been coaching him, helping him get his head together for the big races. Let's see if those tips can help Michael Matt take the lead from Feller and put the pressure on Schwartz and Hirscher, who are still to ski.
Michael Matt, the only man that Hirscher was worried about in the finish, but does he need to be worried about him? It's a couple of heavy edge sets again through the middle, struggling to change the speed and the timing as this course changes. The speed seems to have gone from this run.
And the snap in the turn and the dynamic style. Well, maybe this is the tactic for the Austrians, looking to make his play right towards the end of the challenge here. Michael Matt for Austria, 1:35.79 for the podium, 1:35.99. And the faster skiers from the first run are just starting to suffer with the track, Finley. It's getting a little cut up, rough and bumpy, and it's not making life easy for the faster men from the opening leg.
No, but Manny Feller on the podium with the mistakes he made. He's just so fast on the ski. Back to Matt here. That's just a bit too much of a pivot of a turn. Not even getting the shoulder on the gate on the main steep section. You need to be accurate at that pitch.
Well, Manu Feller guaranteed a medal. The question now, what colour? And can Austria take the clean sweep? Manu Feller leads, Neureuter is second, Christoffersen is in third. 2 races left to ski. The first of the Austrian duo will be Marco Schwartz from Bad Kleinkirchheim. And then it will be Marcel Hirscher looking for the double gold. Manu Feller cannot believe it. He has grabbed a medal. Will it be bronze, silver or gold? Clean sweep is on the cards for the Austrians here. Marco Schwartz, 0.24 of a second is his advantage from the first run over his compatriot Manu Feller, who leads. There are no team rules in alpine skiing. It's every man for himself. It's the skier, the clock and the mountain. And so far so good for Marco Schwartz. Loses just over a tenth, but keeps that green light. And most importantly, Finley, keeps the rhythm down the steep pitch.
Yeah, got the rhythm good, but he had 2 heavy edge sets on the 2 breakover turns. He re-got his focus now, and he's going very clean from one turn to the other.
Another change of rhythm still to come in this tricky course set. The ruts and bumps are making life even more precarious for the faster racers, as Schwartz needs to really charge here, or he may find himself off the podium like his teammates. And Marco Schwartz drops to 6th. Oh! And now all of a sudden, Neureuter knows he's got a medal. Germany have their first medal at the championships in the last race of the 14 days we've been here. Look at the look of relief on the face of Felix Neureuter from 10th position into silver medal. Or will it be bronze? Marcel Hirscher is the last man to ski. We take a look at the slow-mos here of Marco Schwartz. Top third went to plan, lost it on the lower part of the challenge.
Yeah, just need to lose the energy and the acceleration in the turn. The amount of power these guys have to put through the skis. They've already done one full run. We're over 2,000 meters. And then he ran out of puff at the end.
Well, Germany finally have a medal. Now, Hirscher is the last man to ski. He already has the giant slalom gold with a brilliant performance last week. He's already won this title before, back in 2013. That's not going through his head right now. It's all about double bubble. It's all about gold number 2 for Hirscher. He's won 5 world titles across all disciplines. Is this about to be number 6? Live here on Eurosport in the last ski for the last medal of the 2017 Alpine Ski Race Championship. He has 0.67 of a second advantage, but Hirscher wants to win the second run as well as the first. Perfect start for the world number 1 finish.
Yeah, showing us all the power, making speed up on the top section. Key moment right now. Tight, accurate, quick off the turning edge. It's all going right now from Marcel Hirscher.
Hirscher's in control here, wonderfully relaxed with the upper body, but look at this momentum that he generates from turn to turn. Hirscher is getting faster and faster through every split time on the course.
This is where others have struggled, but he keeps the power going.
Oh, little mistake. Pitch forward on the skis, but a split-second recovery keeps the green light. Now Hirscher starts to drive, attack, and play the cards that he plays so well. Double gold for Marcel Hirscher. Oh, quite spectacular. And once again, Hirscher silences critics, saves the Austrian team, brings himself his 6th World Championship title. He takes Austria to the top of the medal table. Well, we talk about the Prince of the Vikings. They ought to make him Lord Marcel Hirscher, I think. A brilliant performance from Marcel Hirscher. Manu Feller celebrates with a silver, and Neureuter saves the German Ski Federation with a bronze, their one and only medal at the championships.
Marcel Hirscher just so accurate on that second run, making speed up on the top section. Amazing.
Boys, tight together, all right?
Beautiful. His 9th World Championship medal. Only Moser Prahl, Nicky Haas, Gertschel and Benny Reich have won more. But let's not forget, Marcel Hirscher is only 27 years of age. He's still got many years and miles to travel underneath those skis. But a beautiful performance.
Weltmeisterschaften 2017 in St. Moritz, präsentiert von Audi. Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, basierend auf den inoffiziellen Resultaten
Well, here is the flower ceremony.
Im heutigen Slalom der Herren.
1-2 for Austria again at these World Championships. They did the 1-2 in the giant slalom with Roland Leitinger taking the silver with Hirscher, and now it's Manu Feller.
Today's slalom man. Aktuell auf dem 3. Platz. Currently in 3rd place. Aus Deutschland. Representing Germany, Felix Neureuter.
Well, Neureuter, who finished 2nd in 2013, bronze in 2015, takes another bronze in 2017. A week ago, we thought he was heading home with a back injury, and he's come back, and come back strong to stop the Austrian clean sweep here today. Big surprise, but a pleasant one for one of the new rising stars and characters of the World Cup Tour. Manu Feller from Fieberbrunn in Austria claims the silver.
In the leading position, aus Österreich, representing Austria, Marcel.
But it is Marcel Hirscher who adds the Slalom World title to the giant Slalom World title and is heading for legendary status in this sport. Austria now top the medal table. And another one of those classic second-run charges from Hirscher. The most exciting of all, Kristoffersen cannot believe it and still wonders where it all went wrong in 4th position. Bronze for Neureuter, the German #1, finally salvages a medal for his team here in St. Moritz. Manu Feller, silver for the Austrian team, but Marcel Hirscher clearly is the king of the mountains here in Switzerland, is the world #1 and makes it 2 back-to-back gold medals. Giant slalom world champion, and here today, the slalom world champion. Riding has to settle for 11th position, not quite finding the tempo and the pace of the second leg after such a brilliant first run. But there is no question, Hirscher is the racer of these championships. Well, what a spectacular finale to these championships here in St. Moritz. 11 golds. Let's hear from Hirscher in the finish area.
Cup Tour. Now we became one of the 3 world champions with 6 gold medals. How does it feel? Is it more special, emotional?
It is perfect. The sun is shining, great conditions today, and yeah, skiing was as well pretty good. So Austria is pretty stoked with another 2 podium, and thank you for an amazing crowd. Have a nice Sunday and safe trip home.
A word on this incredibly strong Austrian squad. We had 4 guys in the top 7 after first run. Now you're sharing the podium with Manuel Feller. How is the spirit within the team?
Well, the young guns are kicking my ass. during every training run, so I'm very thankful for this. It's helping me to improve myself in every training run.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Well, you have to admire the diplomacy, the honesty of this amazing skier. I think the most important thing we can glean from that interview, Finley, is that he becomes one of a very exclusive, or a member of a very exclusive club, one of 6 men with more than 5 world titles. Svindal, Gustavo Toni, Ingemar Stenmark, Kjetil André Ormot, Ted Ligeti. I mean, it's quite a remarkable feat here, but he's gone one better than that, and now only Tony Zeiler and Jean-Claude Keely and now Marcel Hirscher have 6 or more World Championship titles.
Yeah, true champion, just letting us know that he's able to pull it out on the big days. His training partners push him in training, they beat him in training, but he pulls it out when it counts.
And is that what the true ingredient or the magic little piece of Hirscher's performances? We know that those guys chase him, but he just has this ability. What impresses me the most, he's so relaxed in the upper body. There is no sign of pressure. It looks like a training run rather than a World Championship race.
Yeah, there's no wasted movement. Everything is forward momentum, and we see Manny Feller make lots of mistakes, which costs him the top, but he'll learn in the future. He's learning from the best with Hirscher, so expect him to push him more in the future.
And a word from you, Finley, on Felix Neureuter?
Oh, an inspired second run, just fantastic to see.
Well, we're going to take a break from the action here in St. Moritz. Stay with us, because you'll join us for the celebrations of this Austrian gold medal. Well, welcome back to St. Moritz. What a smashing finale to these Alpine Ski Racing World Championships. For a moment there, we thought Britain may grab a medal. Dave Riding a little disappointed. Hopefully we'll have time to hear from Dave. If not today, certainly in our highlights program later this afternoon. But the man of the moment is Marcel Hirscher, winning the gold in the giant slalom on Friday, and here on Super Slalom Sunday, Hirscher has done it again. It's his 6th World Championship gold. There are tears of joy, I can tell you, in the finish area right now from Felix Neureuter. A very emotional bronze medal for him. But for me, Hirscher, not only the man of today's race, but the man of the championships. Let's go down to Jonathan Edwards and Tina Maze and get their wrap-up of this slalom competition.
Well, Tina and I think, here both in awe of Marcel Hirscher. I mean, the snow conditions, it was slowing down a bit, and we wondered whether Marcel was going to get the worst of it, but he smashed it.
Yeah, he smashed it right from the start. He was attacking like nobody else. I think this was, wow, just to watch these guys and to watch this performance it's so hard to watch. For me, it's like full emotion and really nice skiing by him and attacking it 100%.
I mean, his story of these championships has been interesting. I mean, he thought he'd messed up the combined, but he ended up getting a silver medal when the snow was bad. Then all the criticism after the team event, and he's come back in the second half. GS, slalom, incomparable.
Yeah, it's just different skiing. We've seen such a difference between him and the other guys. Again, like Michaela yesterday, so dominant, so constant, such a perfection, millimeters away from the gates, just smashing every gate by gate, just more and more and more speed creating from turn to turn. So that's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he is like a machine, isn't he? He just churns out performances year after year. He's going to win a 6th overall Globe this year. Do we start talking about Hirscher as, if not one of the greatest skier of all time? Close to.
Yeah, you are absolutely right there. I mean, such a skill, such a constant, so many years, year after year, winning this Globe, which means a lot in skiing. World Championships is different world, but World Cup Tour, it's long season, many races to go. And he's being pushed by the youngers, and maybe that's good for him.
Yeah, he was talking about that in his podium interview, wasn't it? All these young guys kicking his ass all the time. But anyway, he showed he's still the #1. Yeah. But a surprise in second place from Austria as well, Manny Feller.
Yeah, it's a great skiing. Already in first run, without that mistake, he would be there. So he managed to do a great run in second, so no mistakes and perfect skiing. A little luck also with the snow with the other guys. They didn't do the way they should, so they were losing, but Feller was just staying there and 1 and 2 for Austria. Again, great job.
Which means the Austrians are going to top the medal table. There was a lot of cheering for Dave Riding when he came down 4th from the Swiss, because I think they were hoping that he was going to beat the Austrians, but it didn't quite work out for Dave, who was in 11th place. And then, I mean, the emotional favourite perhaps of everybody, Felix Neureuter. I mean, he's walked through this mix zone almost like with a bad back. He's been having injections. Bronze medal.
Felix is playing smart this championships on slalom. He wasn't in the top position in the first run, so he had better number compared to the other guys. And he did this great run. I think he feels good now, but winning the gold medals or bronze medal, it's like a win for him with these troubles he had past year.
I mean, I think, yeah, remarkable comeback for Neureuter. We didn't even know he was going to start the GS, maybe not even the slalom with his problems, but a bronze medal.
Exactly.
And then Kristoffersen, I mean, he will be hugely disappointed. Just outside the medals, but he came here to win.
Yeah, he came here to win, but when your skis, we've seen he wasn't fast from the start run, so something wasn't right today. And if you don't have the right setting, you can be best skier ever, but you are not fast. So that happened to him today.
And Dave Riding, obviously we talked so much about him beforehand. The Brits were hoping that he might do it. Just didn't quite have the speed in the end.
No, I think he wasn't that fluid, not so relaxed, not attacking the second run the way he should, and just some fire I missed there. So he wasn't attacking from... I've seen him a little bit back, not going into it 100%. So, of course, it's a hard position to be, and to be that risky on this slope with a lot of rhythms of change, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, well, what a finale to these championships. And, well, Marcel Hirscher, really an unbelievable performance.
Many thanks to Jonathan and Tina there, and I'm sure you'll all agree back home, glued to your TV sets right now, that it's worth a second look and a little bit of analysis from Finlay Mikkel of this amazing performance from Marcel Hirscher. Of course, we'd seen him last Friday win the giant slalom in great style on the second leg, and he's done it again. We know he's strong, Finlay. We know he's powerful, but for me, it's how he keeps his cool and calm whilst the rest of the world expect him to slip up. It's almost the key motivation for him. So many people want Hirscher to fail, and he plays that to his advantage when he charges these second runs.
Yeah, when it really counts, he gets pinpoint accurate. When other people make mistakes, he doesn't. He keeps the generation of speed going through the difficult times, and he's able to just recover from any of his mistakes. And the mistakes are rare to see, but they're only ever small.
Well, he won it back in 2013. He's done it again here in St. Moritz in 2017. Such an explosive, such a dynamic and exciting skier to watch. And then when away from the slopes, a true gentleman. Always time for the press and media, and always time to talk to the world's press and compliment the other skiers that are still trying to beat him, Finlay.
Absolutely, a true gent when he's past the beam at the finish line.
And join us on Eurosport with Lindsay Vonn, chasing history at 6:45 Central European Time. An hour earlier if you're watching Eurosport across the United Kingdom and the Channel Islands. Back here in St. Moritz, it's not about Lindsay Vonn, it's all about Marcel Hirscher, who has done the double. Gold in the giant slalom and gold in the slalom. Let's go down for more with Jonathan Edwards and the Olympic champion, Tina Maze.